So in that moment, I didn't know what you guys would uncover, and I'm gonna be honest. People up here seemed like they was tense, so I was just like, I think this is the moment.
People seem tense.
Who? Yeah, you, Mel.
I wasn't here.
Oh yeah,
you were here.
I was here for 5 minutes.
I know that old school trick.
That was the day I got into
He threw Marc in the
No, it wasn't.
Your freeze.
No, it wasn't. You are high. That is not it.
But
Yeah.
Mel was
There you
something
go.
that happened at the beginning of the pod. That when I walked in, everyone said, "Yo, Mel is."
Oh, you rap.
Look. He just put cases on everybody. He said anybody's name right now.
I said everyone seemed to be tense. No one said anything. I read the room. I walked in and it looked tense.
You just said that some people told
Not
you.
lie.
What's good, Elevators? It's your boy Elevation here with another episode of the JBP Elevated, where we speak on the Joe Budden podcast and all of his co-hosts on and off the pod. Oh man, so a bigger meeting happened behind the scenes than we're privy to. Marc shut that down immediately, to the point where Imani was questioning his own thoughts, to the point where I was questioning what Imani was saying. So thankfully for us, we record on this, so I just went back to the tapes. And Imani, you were absolutely correct. I was bringing up attention to how much Marc was treating y'all in a bad light, and that something needed to change. And then he just left out the Joy Taylor interview, just like that. Why would Marc Lamont Hill, the person that's the most polarizing on the pod outside of Joe himself, leave for a Joy Taylor interview and there not be anything wrong? Tell me how that makes sense. Marc was so busy that he had to leave the Joe Budden network that is giving him all this notoriety currently to do what exactly? But Imani was wrong for bringing that up. And notice how defensive he got. There's a bunch of things happening right here in this little clip that can insinuate the things that we've been speaking on in the past hold weight and have credence. Marc and Mel do not rock with each other anymore. And Marc is trying to get smooth past this, because unfortunately for him, Mel holds the cards to how he's viewed currently. If Mel can't get off Marc shooting a shot in her direction, and she keeps calling out Marc for how he's treating her, it's gonna sully how we view Marc. Not me, just people that are 100% on his side. So Marc is making sure this is not the narrative that continues. Notice how Marc always shoots in the direction of people asserting a certain type of narrative to him. And of course, if it's not true, you're going to defend yourself. Of course. I don't call people out for that. I just call people out in the manner they do it and how often they do it. Marc's going to make sure you don't get this shit off on me, Imani. But no, I don't think Imani was wrong for bringing that up. And I don't think Melyssa wanted to be put in a different light either. But since she's not going to say anything, we saw two different sides of the same coin. Marc is what happens when you shoot in someone's direction and they have a fully loaded clip and they're aiming at you already. Mel is what happens when you shoot in somebody's direction and they act like they never get shot at. They don't know how to respond. Because everybody always speaks about fight or flight. No one ever speaks about the freeze reaction. And that's what Melyssa does every time the scope is aimed on her. So when Imani said, oh, there's tension in the room, and it was Marc, he shut it down. Oh, well, since it wasn't Marc, it was Melyssa. And she looked incredulous, like, what are you speaking on? Guys, it's documented. It's documented. What's going on or what happened to the point where this happens. Because this little kerfuffle that they just did, it wasn't a mistake, guys. It was not a mistake. But you're watching how people divert attention away from them in real time. Imani is not an idiot. But Imani, speaking of you, since I have so much light on you today, you're going to have to stop getting on the shows complaining. You're going to have to tell these niggas behind the scenes, and you're going to have to be assertive when you say it. Because the little cachet that you currently have with the audience, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose it. I always check to see how people are being mentioned in the Patreon and the YouTube comments. And it's always a good thing or a blessing whenever you're dominating the comments. And unfortunately, Imani is dominating the comments, but it's because everybody's getting tired of this being what you're known for. It's been 2 episodes in a row. I don't like how you guys do this. I don't like how you guys treat me. And it's funny whenever y'all defend yourselves because it's things that we've already spoken on. It's just how y'all choose to address it. Instead of being immediate like it's supposed to be, or how I would wish y'all niggas would, y'all wait, y'all let it build up to the point where y'all break. But it'd be too late at that point because now you're already seen in that light. You have to get these niggas behind the scenes, tell them to stop doing what they're doing, so you're not the one that looks crazy in the long run, because everything you're saying needs something to be said towards it. But since you took too long to say it, and you're choosing to speak on it on a public platform, it makes no sense. Your time is already limited enough as is. If you're going to spend 60% of that time speaking on why people treat you like this, or how come the people treat you like this, we're going to look at you in a different light. And unfortunately, the thing that you're asserting to the guests that come on the JBP is going to happen to the audience. So you got to figure out how to nip this in the bud behind the scenes. The only person that can openly complain is Melyssa. And nobody likes her complaining either, but I don't know how y'all haven't seen the double standards in society yet. Women are always going to get treated differently in that light as opposed to men. And I'm not saying you can't speak up for yourself. It's the timing in which you do it. It's the timing in which you do it. But Imani, you weren't wrong. You were absolutely not wrong. Something happened. I don't know if we're ever going to get to the bottom of it. I don't know if Marc's ever going to say why he left. But there was absolutely tension in that room. And it wasn't just between Marc and Melyssa. It was tension in the room building because of how everybody views Marc. It's like a basketball team. Perfect example. Well, no, this is actually a bad example, but the correlation still exists. Allen Iverson to the Memphis Grizzlies. Or even earlier, Allen Iverson to the Detroit Pistons. Whenever he left Denver and they traded him for Chauncey Billups, Marc has the cachet of an Allen Iverson. He has the popularity and the notoriety of an Allen Iverson. Except he doesn't make the team worse. He goes to the team, and since he's such a polarizing character, everyone else on the team doesn't know how to feel about him or fit around him. It's just Marc is efficient. Allen Iverson is very inefficient, notably. So that's where the correlation separates. But everything else is the same. Once these niggas figure out how to play with Marc, this podcast is going to skyrocket. Okay, guys, let's understand this. Marc's not changing. He's not changing. He might tame it. He might dial it back some, but it's always going to be there because this is the type of person he is. And now it's being put on full display. And since it carries over so much with the audience, y'all are going to have to change, not him. Melyssa is the only one that holds the cards in that light because of her status as a beautiful woman. She is a pawn piece on the JVP. And she's the one pawn that you can't touch. She has the status of a queen in pawn's clothing. And Marc's going to figure that out if he hasn't already. Because it wasn't just the call that he received from Mel that flipped this shit upside down. Ian talked to him too. Joe talked to him too. Why do you think Joe's the one that keeps bringing it up? Melyssa got you good. Melyssa had that call when Flip brought it up. Melyssa XYZ. They're saying this for a reason, guys. But, I don't know. We could just be grasping at straws here. Could just be making things up. It is what it is at this point. It's too much drama to not speak on it. I appreciate all the support thus far. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe to the page if you haven't. If you have, you already know how we rock it. You already know what's going on over here. Make sure you subscribe to that Patreon. Got about 3 videos uploaded on there today. So, won't be surprised if you see some more content uploaded there soon. I appreciate the mass support so far. Having 40 subscribers on the Patreon already is that's crazy. I just posted it yesterday, so y'all really doing what y'all need to do, and I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.